Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the InsideLowell Daily Pulse, the Friday, May 2nd edition of the Daily Pulse. I'm your host, Teddy Panos, coming here from the Well Point Studios here in downtown Lowell, and we're excited today because we're bringing a tradition back home, the annual day before the Kentucky Derby contest that I used to do back on 980 WCAP. Jerry Nutter continued it for a few years, but we're bringing it back home. We're bringing it back where it belongs, and it belongs to InsideLowell. And I'm excited today because joining us for today's edition of the Daily Pulse, look at this crew, would you?
The three Stooges.
Look at that. We've got from left to right on your TV monitor, cell phone screen, whatever your viewing device is. Leslie Bodor sitting on the left-hand side right there. By the way, we should announce, Leslie, that this week you signed a new contract extension that said you will have to sit on the left-hand seat. In honor of Lefty Bodor, she's sitting in a left-hand seat.
Happy to.
And what's interesting is she still had 8 years remaining on her previous contract. So we extended her anyway.
We're not going there.
We extended her for 27 years.
I got it. I'm going to get
experience for me.
I've been waiting for the 3 years. Sitting in the center, the thorn between two roses.
Yeah, no, right.
And really, we have to be honest here. He's really the only horse racing expert in this crew right now.
That's the only reason why I came, because I go, Keith, who?
The only guy who has a chance of picking a winner in this.
We will see. We will see.
𝐃𝐚𝐢𝐥𝐲 Rudy is joining us here. How are you, Keith?
Good, Teddy.
All right,
Good
so
to be here.
Leslie and I were having a discussion. She didn't think you'd find your way here. You got here before Dakota, but have I brought you in here before for a podcast?
I don't think so.
You didn't come in with Russo and the gloves?
I don't believe so.
Okay, I know Kevin Coughlin did.
I know Chelmsford invited us in with your buddy out there. Who does the Chelmsford line?
Dean Contover.
Dean Contover. We were out there with, we took our show on the road out there in Chelmsford.
All right. Well, welcome. I'm sorry. I should have brought you in sooner.
No.
You want to do some daily pulses?
What's that? Sure.
You should come in and do some daily pulses.
Especially if we get closer to the gloves or something like that.
Oh,
Of
yeah.
course. Yeah, once I block the boring counselors out and they can no longer contribute.
You'll definitely see the decline in ratings, no doubt.
Top group. I'm telling you, Ted.
And
I
joining
want to
us,
negotiate my contract.
how many years do you have on it?
I got months and minutes.
I got 6 months left of mine.
Months and minutes.
We'll let John make that judgment call. John, of course, to the right of your screen, John Descoteaux, Lowell City Councilor. John Descoteaux making a tremendous political career mistake by being a part of
This is
today.
right when I walked in.
You have no idea what's
This is
about to
bad.
happen.
This is bad.
I'm going to guess you're going to lose at least 50 votes today.
Wow.
Just by being here with me.
That gives me 4.
Goodness, if you're running in the 80, you might actually.
You know what? That's 4%.
Unfortunately for you, you're in the Upper Highlands, so you need to actually get some votes there. So we're going to have Cisco Maldonado come in.
So you didn't.
He's actually out knocking doors.
Oh yeah, I'll start November.
Wow, tough crowd. Well, thank you to all three of you for coming in. We've got,
Thank you.
well, I don't know how many horses we have. We started with 20.
Oh, my
we
God.
lost one, substituted that, got back to 20, and now
We don't even know if we have a 20th.
we're down to 19. We think we might have a 20th. Who knows? I know that we've got about 3 dozen entrants in there as well, people who've responded to our request to get in. So what we're going to do is we're going to match people to their to a horse. We're going to pick a name. Leslie, you want to, while we're here, show people the my kids' Easter baskets. So there's
Is that Ari's?
the people.
That's Ari's.
That's Ruby's. The
It's
yellow
Ruby's.
one.
All right.
People, and the other one is horses. So we've got
Carol Merrill.
all the entrants in there, and we'll match you guys up. Now we did have. I was going to actually throw them all in the same thing and see how we could pick them, and we were going to call it horse people, but I wasn't sure if if Leslie would be able to properly pick a horse name and match it to a
Officially decided I'm not coming back in the studio ever again.
But Karen Reed, that's for you, Gilly. That's the horse and people.
There you go. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's through mythology, right? Was it the centaur, or what was the Greek half horse, half
Centaur.
Centaur.
Yeah. And Minotaur was the half bull, half man.
Yes.
And so I didn't know what the half horse, half woman was. I figured it was
𝐃𝐚𝐢𝐥𝐲.
So anyway,
He loves that wide, the long face.
Your contract is not being renewed.
She would have been a good boxer. Hit and run.
Right out of his sneaker.
Kiki's getting
Whoa. You're not running for office, are you?
No.
The only time.
Absolutely not.
So thank you to Leslie, Keith, and John Dakota for coming in. Before we get rolling on today's show, let me thank my Daily Pulse sponsors. Starts, of course, with Ray Booten, licensed realtor, Massachusetts and New Hampshire, certified appraiser in both states as well. You can find them online at realestaterayBooten.com. Thanks as well to our friends at WellPoint. At WellPoint, your whole health is their whole point. Let me run through all of them right now because I might forget to later once we really get into the weeds here. So let's also thank our friends at Washington Savings Bank. Banking that feels like home. Make the switch now to Washington Savings Bank. TMI Properties, quality and value at every price point. Find your perfect space with TMI. Mahoney Oil, providing warmth and protection to Greater Lowell and Southern New Hampshire since 1925. The Greater Lowell Community Foundation, improving the quality of life throughout Greater Lowell through strategic, impactful philanthropy. Francis E. Preventure Insurance, the agency Greater Lowell has counted on since 1982. And Leslie Bodor's favorite website of all my sponsors. You want to give the website, Leslie?
I don't remember.
You don't?
No. Let's pay attention, ladies.
It's FEPINS.com, Francis E. Preventure Insurance. Thank you as well to the Massachusetts Pirates, bringing all the hard-hitting action and excitement of arena football to the Mill City. And we should say that... by the way, when we pick these horses and we assign them to you, if your horse wins places or shows, if your horse finishes in the money, you're going to win some great prizes, courtesy of some local businesses. We've got Massachusetts Pirates tickets in there for folks, but Keith has already been hard at work over there securing some other sponsors as well. We should give them a little love. We got this one called the Perfect Cup. I thought that's what John wore when he played baseball.
I didn't need one.
Good. Okay. $20 to the Perfect Cup. What is the Perfect Cup? Oh,
It's a
Cup of Joe.
Yeah, it's a coffee shop located in Drake, right across the street from the Drake House of Pizza. It's in that little
186
plaza.
Lakeview. The Perfect Cup Cafe. I like it.
A young couple.
That little plaza right across?
Yeah,
That little
you
plaza,
really
yeah.
enjoy your cup of coffee. They're a young couple, like I said, just starting the business, and they're great cup of coffee.
Love it. We've also got that's a $20 gift card. We got a $25 gift certificate to the 1981 Ramen Bar.
Oh,
Right in
Pete.
downtown Lowell, right?
Great guy.
Yeah.
Place is packed.
It is, man. Your ramen is huge with young kids.
Yeah.
It really
kids
is.
love them.
They really do.
Eating it in their college dorm.
Yeah.
room.
Yeah.
So it's
Good
true.
local business. Teddy also likes to get involved with the
Yes, they
community. He donates a lot to help you with the Golden Gloves.
He does.
But can I say that is donated by
Oh, yes.
where Angels play? That's,
What is where Angels play?
where Angels play is out of a New York. I'm sorry, New Jersey firefighters group, benevolent. They help after they had the big hurricane up there, Sandy or whatever it
Sandy,
was,
yes.
and destroyed. So they used to build playgrounds and stuff for low income underprivileged areas or whatever you would call them. So two of our local people, Butch Patnod and Larry Finn, just came back from New Jersey, I think last night, and they were up there putting playgrounds and
That's
they
great.
put up there. So they do a lot of work, but it's a private nonprofit organization, but they do a very worthwhile community
Love it.
service out there. So
Love it. Where Angels play.
Right.
Thank you for the donation from them and, of course, our friends at the Ramen Bar. By the way, you may have just noticed we created a new camera shot just for this. So you turn to the camera, John, smile. Is that your smile?
That's it. There's no more. There's
We're
no
pulling
more.
out all the stuff. We got a close-up 3-shot. We also have we're going to use
Whoa.
our whiteboard. Leslie, Johnny, and
Wow.
Kiki are going to give you their derby picks as part of this fun here. So, we have to use another contractual agreement. We have to use all of our camera shots.
Got it, yeah.
Or else I have to return the camera back to Lowell Telemedia. We got a $25 gift card to Lowell House of Pizza.
Can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong at Lowell House of Pizza.
yeah,
Yep.
Little House of Pizza, the famous George's Pizza.
Yeah.
So the people that remember the old George's
They're
Pizza,
the ones that have the original George's
they have
Pizza.
the original. You're right.
And we actually have a second one from Lowell
He
House
gave us
of
a
Pizza.
second one. A good
So
friend of
we got
mine.
good.
Say hi to Abe. Abe is another one, good sponsor. Always sponsored my Acre Youth Organization when I needed some sponsors. Great guy, a great community neighborhood guy.
All right. Good stuff. Thank you, Tony.
Is there a $100 one from the Athenian corner? I didn't see that one on there.
You want to donate it? You had your campaign fundraiser the other night, so if you want to donate it, you're more than welcome.
Sure.
I'm not going to stop you.
No.
So, anyway, so the breaking news, we had a scratch.
Yeah.
I saw that this morning, and I was able to adjust our entries here. But the number 4 horse, Rodriguez, scratched. Correct?
Yes.
Is that now? That's confirmed. Did he get scratched by his owner? I heard he may have self-deported.
No, what happened?
Yeah, I heard
It was so official.
he was on the. He was.
I saw the ICE officials pushing the kid.
He was being transported on the highway. There was an ice truck that passed him. He broke out of the little.
The owner actually
garden and
thought
started
that
running south.
they might have seen a small fracture in it, so they weren't. It wasn't confirmed, but they were a little leery. They said, "Let's give him a rest and we'll run him in the Preakness."
All right, so he got scratched, replaced. So the number 4 got replaced by the number 21 horse,
Beza. Yes.
Beza.
But now everybody gets moved up. So if you were in the 5th position, you are now in the 4th position.
You're running from the 4th gate, which would have been for Rodriguez.
Right,
But
and
there's still it's still gates 1 through 20 in the race.
That's right. That's right.
Which matters, which we're going to talk about
It's
a
huge.
little bit. But literally, 20 minutes ago, right before we hit the record button on this, we got official confirmation there was yet another scratch.
Right. Number 10.
Grande.
Grande.
Yeah.
So Grande has been
Or
scratched.
grenade.
Teddy, if I may, Teddy, just real quick on the scratches. Rodriguez was going to be. He's trained by Bob Baffert. Bob Baffert is back in the Kentucky Derby after 3 years suspension. And he was going to be ridden by Michael Smith. Michael Smith is the oldest jockey alive. He's 59 years old.
Yep.
And he's got probably the most wins coming in.
That's an old man.
And he had,
Hey, easy on that.
I'm still at my weight.
he had a chance to become the oldest jockey to win it. The oldest jockey to win it was Bill Shoemaker.
Shoemaker,
People
yeah.
remember Bill Shoemaker,
Sure.
Robert Kramer. He was 54 when he won the Kentucky Derby in 1986 running Ferdinand.
So Smith, that was a Smith Baffert combo. That was one of the
Yes.
favorites.
It was
just by the names of
right.
the jockey and the trainer, that horse was going to be one of your favorites,
Didn't
right?
there be California horses out there? I mean, Baffert and Smith usually ride notoriously out in Santa Anita or the Del Mar, and then California horses out there. So, but Smith won't get his chance. And the other great jockey that's going to be not be in this race, I don't think he's going to be unless he gets another horse, and I don't think he's going to, is Johnny Velasquez.
Right.
Johnny Velasquez always used to be with Todd Pletcher for years and years. They had won, and I think he's probably won the Kentucky Derby, I think maybe 3 or 4 times.
Wow.
So we're going to be missing 2 good jockeys. In a race like this, Teddy, it's important to have a jockey that's have the experience of where to put the horse. Because with 20 horses, if you get on the inside and it's a slow pace in front of you, you're not going outside. There's too many horses on the outside to the right of you. Where in usual races you normally have 8 to 10.
Sure.
It gives you enough room where you can make a move early and get on the outside. You're not going to probably do that in this race here, Teddy.
It's to me, it's completely ruined.
Yeah.
The Kentucky Derby. You have your most important race
Right.
of them all, the one that everybody watches even casually, right?
Right.
And you flood the field with 20 horses.
Right.
Some of them that shouldn't even
Absolutely,
be running
I
at the
agree.
country fair.
But it does bring
But
go
they
back
make
to
them qualify.
it makes go back to Keith's point though, is that when we're looking at these jockeys, and I would say you have 10 really, really good jockeys here, get in that position early, especially on a 1.25 mile track, it's key. Now we talked about it earlier. It's going to be raining in Louisville.
The conditions of the track.
So that's even another. How good is your jockey get that early position? So when you're coming in for that 20th or the first, can you maneuver your way in? Because those are like that 1, 2, 3 in 2019, 18. Tough positions to make that turn around.
Now that's interesting. So I understand why way outside is tough because you're actually running extra distance.
Right.
You're running more than a mile and a quarter just to get inside.
Right.
If you're in the 1 and you get off cleanly, you should be okay. I would think the middle of the pack, where if you don't get off well, you're going to get boxed. Everybody's going to accordion on you, right?
You'll find your 4, 5, and 6 drawing more to the rail, which then pushes 1, 2, and 3. Either you got to go quick or you'll hold them back. And that by that time, with that many horses, you're not going to find those little cracks in there because it's all taken up. That's the problem.
Do you guys are familiar with the horse they put out that's just fast? Is there such a thing where they put out a horse that's really fast that
Yes.
needs it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Normally you'll get a trainer that has 2 or 3 horses,
Right.
and he'll take one of his horses
Yes.
and set the pace.
That's right.
And he gets out there.
Yeah.
So they know he's not going to finish the race in a mile and a quarter. He'll probably end up, if he gets out there quick.
Yep.
He'll probably run around the first turn and take the lead, maybe by, let's say, 6, 7 lengths. He's just out there. He wants the other horses to try to stay with
Right.
him. That horse will probably finish last
Right.
in the race.
But
He's
he-
at the
he's
end.
just
He's the pace setter.
Final turn.
Just
Just
a
straight
pace.
to the
Just
goal.
not-
Right.
Yes,
Go as fast as you can for as long as you can.
Yep.
Basically is what they say.
It's like the guy that runs with the women in the marathon, Boston Marathon. They're not
Yeah.
going
But I mean, some of these odds are off the chart.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
even with number 2, Neoquist, with now Luis Saez, who's an excellent jockey, taking the place of Flavien Prat. He's at 57-1 right
Yeah.
now.
He was 51-1 when I put it in this morning. He's now 57-1.
57-1. But now, if we went on the internet right now, knowing that Rodriguez and Grande at 17-1 are scratched, these odds. You might as well throw all
Every
these
horse-
out.
Right.
You
every
might as well
horse
just
is
throw
gonna
this. It's
start
all
to get a little bit more action.
Absolutely.
See, this is the kind of analysis you can only get on Inside Lowell with this expert panel. And you used to be able to get it at Towers News in the 80s. Right now,
You don't have any pitches in there.
I used to go get my daily racing form. Head up to Rock, stop at Towers,
They
grab your
still get
racing
it.
That's
form.
right. You can still get it there. Yeah.
They-
Not that
They
somebody
still
told me
have
that.
Because everybody's doing everything online.
You only
can
get 3 or
still
4 books there.
You can
guys
still get a print
Yeah, I
daily
usually
racing
actually got to
form.
reserve it from me when I want one there.
See,
It's nothing like it's.
Is it
It's still
a
old
big,
time.
clunky newspaper? Or
Now
is
you,
it small?
it's kind of like the old Herald. The way the Herald
Yeah,
was at the
yeah.
end. You open it
It's
up.
that big?
Yeah. Yep.
Because I remember going to Saratoga a couple of years ago, my first time, loved it. I went with 𝐃𝐚𝐢𝐥𝐲,
Yeah.
𝐃𝐚𝐢𝐥𝐲 Peña, but it was like a small little book. I don't remember the giant racing form.
Oh, you had. It was about 8.
Yeah, it's like an 8x11.
Yeah, right. This one is like the paper itself.
Yeah,
You
like-
bend
like
it,
a
you
Herald.
open it, you bend it, and
Your face had all the smudge marks.
Yes, all over your fingers.
That's what I like. All right. And by the way, we should clarify for the purposes of our contest, because I had literally put all the entries into the respective buckets before Grande. We found out Grande was scratched. So Grande's name is going in there.
Okay.
So whoever has been assigned Grande, if a horse comes in to replace Grande between now and tomorrow's race, we will automatically assign you that horse. If not, tough shit. You're out of luck.
Pretty much.
I can't help you.
Pretty much. Yeah.
But well, hopefully we can get a replacement. We did get a replacement for Rodriguez. Baeza came across the border to replace Rodriguez, which went the other way. So we do have 20 entries. Again, we're going to have our panel of experts give you their Derby picks along the way. We're going to have a little fun along the way. We're going to give you even more expert analysis. We're going to talk about track conditions. We're going to talk about all sorts of things. But what do you say we get right down to it? Let's start assigning the first couple of horses. What do you say,
Sounds
guys?
great.
Yeah.
All right. Without any further ado,
Leslie's getting up on the saddle. She's ready to go.
We're thinking about that Three Stooges 20.
high tech production value here, folks. We do not.
Get this to CAP.
mess around. Yeah, you used to get the live view of CAP.
Sam just fired me. I'm not
We used to get a live view, but no checks on Friday, but live view.
Perfect.
All right, Bodor.
Yeah.
We'll do, without any further ado, let us select our first entrant in the contest.
Person.
Our first person, yeah.
Our person.
So don't peek. Come on, get your hands. I got an extra wide bucket, by the way, to help you
Whoa.
get your hand in there. All right, who is our first
Okay.
contestant?
Mike Ham, the Sandman.
Him. So what we did is we asked folks to enter. You had to go either on
Yeah.
Facebook or InsideLowell.com.
Yeah.
Enter your name and then give us the name of your favorite horse throughout history. Some folks got into the spirit of it, as we'll probably find out as we're going along.
Yeah.
Others picked the horse that they wanted to get in the Derby. By the way, if you picked Sandman, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get Sandman.
That's right. Right.
You will be assigned the horse that Leslie picks for you. So without any further ado, Mike is getting... Look at this expert over here.
East Avenue, number 12 horse.
East
or
Avenue,
11.
the number 12 horse, will probably be running from the 11 gate.
Okay.
And I got to tell you,
Gate.
the jockey is Manny Franco. And Manny Franco is a very good jockey. Runs a lot at Aqueduct and at Gulfstream. And at 34 to 1, if you look at a lot of these odds that we're looking at here, we got a lot of 20 to 1, 30, 34, 36 to 1.
I'm not sure what the
It would not surprise me, especially with the track probably going to be sloppy. You could see one of these 30 to 1, 40 to 1 odd horses winning this thing. So it's probably not a bad pick.
It's almost like you know something. That's an impressive contribution.
I'm a politician. Of course I
Were you on the book tapes?
I played the fifth.
We taping live, Teddy? No.
No,
People are asking me. People.
Nope, they're gonna have to watch this at noon. And they're gonna have to watch it all the way through because we're gonna spread this out like I got sponsors to satisfy. Look at their logos coming across that screen there. All right, so we got our first entry.
Yes, Mike Ham
We
has
got our first horse.
East Avenue.
All right, Leslie, let's go. Let's get another one out
All
there.
right, let's get
There's
somebody.
Leslie's hand.
Okay, Robin Ellis Demange, Demange.
Demange or Demange? That's
Demange.
like a French name.
It
is.
That's not in this field.
I am a
right?
Duplessis, I can say that.
So is that
I am a Duplessis.
is that horse's name from a horse throughout history or something?
What's that with Teddy?
Demange or Demange?
Demange.
Did we
I knew
just
it.
get punked? Is
I know
that
a
what
kid named Rick Jamange.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
you're French, so
Yeah.
is that a French swear?
I know. I
Did we
think
get
if it's the
punked?
same Rick, I think he works at DPW actually.
Yeah,
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
David Jimmy.
We're going to assume that Robin is giving us some love to a local employee. All right, let's give Robin a pony, shall we?
All righty. The horse is Sovereignty.
Oh, sovereignty.
Good pick.
That's a good one.
What do we
Good
know
pick.
about sovereignty, Kiki and John? Because Leslie knows nothing about
This is probably
this already.
this is probably one of the best
10 to 1?
jockey trainer combos right now. You get Junior Alvarado and William Mott.
Wow.
William Mott is very well respected, and Junior Alvarado is always usually comes in the money on a lot of it. He's been running down in Gulfstream, right? Or is he Santa Anita? Keek.
Junior Alvarado is normally, I think, down in
Gulfstream, right?
Yeah.
And at 11 to 1, this is a really good pick. This is definitely a win place a show horse.
Robin.
I was going to say I had him in the early this morning, 10 to 1, 11 to 1, somewhere in that range. That's going to probably go down a little with two quality horses.
I think you're right.
Right.
Yep.
So that's not a bad.
That's a really good pick.
sovereignty.
Yeah,
Yep.
lucky.
Let's make it a lucky. Who's lucky number 3 for us, Bodor, to enter our contest?
Let's see who shows. Alicia Marie.
Oh, Alicia Marie.
Very nice name. I love that.
yes.
Alicia Marie has.
A Facebook entry. I remember that much.
Okay, very good.
Most of the entries were on Facebook, but we did get some on
Owen Almighty.
Owen Almighty.
My grandfather's
the-
name.
Originally the number 20 horse.
Yes.
Who, by the way, a lot of people, is Owen Almighty a good horse? Because a lot of people entered Owen Almighty
He
Yeah.
won his
after a
last-
horse
he
name.
won his last time out.
Was that the Tampa Bay? Was that the horse that beat the Lowell horse?
I believe so.
Tampa-
Yes.
or
I believe.
Keeneland.
Chance McPatrick.
Chance of
Chance of
Patrick,
Patrick,
who came
yeah.
close but couldn't pull off a win.
All he had to do was come in first, second, and actually, if I think
Maybe
he
third,
maybe
right.
third, he came in sixth. I mean, he wasn't even in the race.
Or if he'd won the previous race.
Right, exactly.
He got the Panos bump.
But yeah, he did. Yeah, he
Started
did.
writing
Yeah.
stories about him and talking about him on podcast.
But he talking about so
He
there's
did
no-
run better than Matt LaLatcher, though. Sorry, Matt. Love you.
all your sponsors are going to be gone after this.
They're all completely done.
Owen Almighty, Javier Castellano, awesome jockey. Kiki, I mean, Castellano's really one of the best.
Yeah, and I had to train it too, Brian Lynch, but Castellano. Let me see. I think he hit his peak a couple years ago. He's more of a New York jockey too.
He's an Aqueduct,
You know, like
yeah.
Irad Ortiz, Jose Ortiz. Leslie asked a question earlier about the jockeys, and the horses. It's important that, a lot of these jockeys you'll see, like the Ortiz brothers, they're aggressive. They're aggressive riders. When they see something, a little hole, they're going to push that horse out of the way and they're coming in. They're very aggressive. And in a race like this, you got to have an aggressive jockey.
Right.
So
They're
that
not going to win the race without having an aggressive jockey. That's why you'll see a lot of bumping. You'll see a lot of bumping, maybe to the first turn. First turn and second turn.
That's
and
when you get it.
That's when they spread out.
Yep.
That's when they spread
Well,
out.
just talking about odds, he was on yours 50 to 1. As of 30 minutes ago, 40 to 1.
Interesting.
When one of
Right.
the best jockeys loses their horse, does they look for that jockey to fill another position on another horse?
Depends on the trainers and whoever owns the horse. But like Kiki brought up a really good point. Johnny Velasquez not in this field
Right.
is kind of a shocker to me.
Yeah.
I would think he'd be
Jockey.
on somebody's mount.
Right.
Is the jockey? Are the jockeys aligned with certain trainers or
Yes.
stables?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, like, if you belong to, say, Baffert's stable, you're not going to go ride for somebody else if your horse
In most cases,
disappears?
no.
That's right.
You know, like
So it's not like an open bidding process.
Yeah.
They're not free agents. They have to ride for the stable.
yeah, like the Ortiz brothers. I think they're in with Pletcher and maybe Chad Brown. Chad Brown is the greatest turf trainer. He's out there. He's
Jose Lascano, Linda
Yeah.
Rice,
Chad
all the
Brown
time.
was Chancellor McPatrick's trainer, wasn't he?
I believe he was.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
He was a turf trainer.
He's
though.
Brown's one of the best.
He's the best turf trainer out there, without a doubt. Last 3 or 4 years, he's dominated.
Turf.
Turf. He's the turf.
Which is big still in Europe, right? Those
Oh, yeah.
those
Yeah.
English,
Yeah.
British, and Irish courses
Right.
still like their turf.
Absolutely,
race.
yep.
Hey, why did that never catch on
We
as
hated
much
the
in
British.
America?
We actually run the opposite way now.
That's true. We hate the British so much we run
We
the other
did. We
way.
run the other way.
Counterclockwise.
That is correct. I researched that first time we did the Derby.
But you're right, Teddy. And he won the Tampa Bay 0-0 night. He won
Yeah.
the Tampa Bay Derby. That was back in,
Was Castellano riding him?
I believe he was. It's not showing me here, but he did beat Chancellor McPatrick, finished second in that race. But
Yeah.
His last time out, though, he ran in the Bluegrass Stake in Keeneland, and he finished sixth. So
We finished seventh in that one.
Chancellor McPatrick.
So they went from 1 and 2 to 6 and 7.
the horse that beat him in that race was Burnham Square. Burnham Square, East Avenue,
this
and
race?
River.
In Burnham Squares in Kentucky.
Yeah,
Burnham
he's in this
Square
race.
in this
Burnham
race.
Square is a good
Number 9 horse.
And that's with Brian Hernandez. Brian Hernandez won the Kentucky Derby last year on Mystic Dan.
All right.
I'm a little disappointed that we're gonna have a sloppy track.
Yeah.
That's gonna be turn it. You're gonna see. It would not shock me to see a 30, 40 to 1 horse win this race because of that.
All right. We'll talk a little about that in a second. Let me just quickly give my guests a chance to take a sip of their coffee, their water, or their tequila, whatever it is that they're drinking. Let's one more time thank our Inside Lowell Daily Pulse sponsors. Of course, Ray Booton. He is a licensed realtor in Massachusetts and New Hampshire. He
left
is a
my bottle at the
certified
city council.
appraiser in both of those states as well. So if you're looking to buy or sell a home, a business, or a commercial property, Real Estate Ray Booton is your man. Find him online at realestaterayBooton.com. Not sure if he can sell horses, but wouldn't be worth a try. Thank you as well to our friends at WellPoint. At WellPoint, your whole health is their whole point, and they are the only health plan that offers healthcare benefits exclusively to Massachusetts GIC members. If you're looking to switch to WellPoint, well, you blew your chance. Open enrollment was April 2nd through May 1st. Take a look at them for next year. Pay attention. Look at their plans. Study them. I guarantee you, their plans cannot be beat. You know why? No primary care doctor required. No referral needed as well. WellPoint. Thank you as well to WellPoint for hosting us here in the WellPoint studios. Thank you to our
Great
guests
minds.
for joining us here in the WellPoint studios. All right, John, you talked about sloppy tracks. And we're going to have, so what do they call it?
I thought that was going into something.
No. This isn't the Athenian on Saturday night with Yanni bartending.
All right.
This is a
The Clean
legitimate
Family Show.
It's a legitimate but,
Here's the horse.
You started looking at Leslie. I'm going, what's going on?
so the track conditions are good, fair, sloppy, and muddy, correct?
Yeah.
Do they have an excellent or no? It's just good?
Yeah, they just call it good.
The
So
excellent,
good,
excellent,
fair,
firm, excellent and firm,
Firm, yeah.
Excellent,
firm,
firm.
fast.
Oh, there's a fast track.
Yeah.
I didn't
Okay.
know that. Wow.
All right. So you say we're going to have a sloppy track or?
You won't know until probably that morning. But I mean, if they're saying that there's 90% rainfall during the whole day,
Yeah.
you can anticipate. I would imagine a poor track at that point.
So wait, 90% rainfall in the forecast
In Louisville,
for
Kentucky.
Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it supposed to end by the race at least? Because those tracks do recover somewhat. But
Yeah,
They
Well,
do.
You see them too, Ted. You'll see them in between races. You see that they water the tracks anyway.
Yeah.
So they
Right,
don't get
to
it
some
dusty and
level.
stuff
Yeah.
like that. So a lot of times they'll
Dust.
water the track just a little bit. But if it stops, I'm hearing 2 to 5 thunderstorms, showers.
That's exactly what it is. 2 to 5. Horse race goes up at quarter seven.
I think
Yeah,
they used to run at like 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Now they run at like midnight.
6:55, 6:57.
Yeah.
Right? So
later and
if
later.
you give it a 2 hour, it might be. It might
Okay,
be.
it can recover.
Yeah.
But it'll affect horses run different. Some like
Absolutely.
it, some don't like it. Where the term mutter came
Right,
from, the famous Seinfeld skit. His mutter was a mutter.
It's unfortunate with horses. I mean, that's the way they do it. They look at the pedigrees and stuff like that, and what their moms and their dads. I mean, I think there's 2 or 3 horses in here that are assigned by Curlin. Curlin's a great horse. So and I think American Pharoah's got a couple horses in here that he signed. So they do tend to look at the pedigree.
Okay. So you look at the pedigree, the mother, father, grandparents of the horses. You look at their what kind of track they like to run on, and obviously dirt versus grass is a big difference. How about the tracks themselves? Because you've got so your main tracks, obviously Churchill Downs is the biggie, but you still have Keeneland in Kentucky. You have the New York tracks, Belmont, Aqueduct, Saratoga, Florida. Little drop in prestige, right? Gulfstream and Tampa and whatnot. Those tracks.
Sarasota.
But the California horses, Santa Anita and Del Mar, as you mentioned, there was a big East Coast West Coast rivalry for a while. They kind of looked down on the California tracks, and then suddenly their horses started coming over.
There was synthetic tracks out there. In California. They had the synthetic tracks out there.
Oh, okay.
In California, I'm not sure if they stopped them because, as you know, a lot of horses were
Starting to get hurt, right?
getting hurt, and
They're trying to eliminate horse racing, period.
As far as
You can't have horses named Tupac Shakur. I mean, that ain't gonna work.
How about Karen Reed? Has anyone got a 2-year-old Karen Reed yet?
And this biggie had a gun one quit.
But then, when you ask about
Fabula.
a track sometimes, Teddy, it's important sometimes that a jockey knows the tracks. Like I said, the
Huge.
Ortiz brothers dominate in New York. But I can only analyze it like this. You remember the old Celtics days when you had the guys playing on the parquet floor? They used to say there was some dead spots on the floor when you were dribbling. So the Celtics knew where the spots were. Well, the same like some of the jockeys. I was watching a race the other day, and I don't think it was Churchill. It was another track. And one of the jockeys, he's a closer, and he went to close, and he said he felt like the horse wasn't moving because he felt it was beach sand. So it wasn't a firm thing. So he didn't have that kick that the horse he was expecting the horse to have.
Yeah.
But this jockey wasn't familiar with that track. So if someone familiar with that probably would have avoided that spot instead of the more firmer part of the track there.
So this is the experience you were talking about.
That's
with
exactly
jockeys.
right.
The experienced jockeys have ridden on all of these tracks. They've ridden in all the high stakes grades races as well. So that does make a difference.
Sure.
What about the trainer? How big of a role does a trainer play in this? You've mentioned Baffert. He's very well known. You mentioned Chad Brown.
Well, the trainers will basically school the jockeys. As you know, jockeys ride a lot of horses, so they might not be familiar. Even though they rode this horse before, if they don't run him like every 2 weeks, then he's not familiar with this horse. Where the horse has been, some horses are closers, some horses are speed horses. So the trainer will tell the jockeys, I want you to get out front, or I want you to hold, wait back, stay in the middle of the pack, but hold back. Follow this horse. You know, so it's important that the trainers, just like you're analyzing, a football coach analyzes the other team who he's playing against and analyzes, watches the movies and studies the films, the trainers do the same thing. Trainers study the films. They
do
study
it.
the other horses.
And the jockeys too will take.
Jockeys will study the face.
They'll study that. Plus, they'll take the horse out, right? And they go, all right, this is where you think he could kick it in,
Right?
You know, but once again, when you're talking those 10 really good jockeys, there's no comparison.
Yeah.
I mean, they know exactly where they're going. They've run these courses millions of times, and depending on the track, but you won't see a lot of deviation from the jockey saying, I'd rather do this, right? And the trainer says, do this. Those top jockeys have already run this. They know exactly where they are. What position they're going to be plays a big role. Like if you're in that 7, 8, 9, 10, where you're going to be tomorrow, you know, and you feel like the track is going to be sloppy, I think you're in a good position there. I really do.
Yeah.
So to give an equivalent, the jockey would be like Tom Brady, the quarterback, and the trainer would be like the coach, Bill Belichick.
I would say that's a good analogy.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Any trainers have new girlfriends who are controlling their lives and absolutely destroying their reputation?
I'm not becoming on the show again. No.
Teddy, you know, Teddy,
She's the business manager.
Yeah, we got to cut this. We have to edit this
Right?
part out of
That's what she
you know,
said.
Teddy,
Surprise Pam isn't out there hanging on the window saying, "No, you're ruining his career."
Teddy,
She actually paid me to try to get you on.
I bet. She goes, "Is it live?" I go, "No, it's not live."
It's not edited either, so careful.
Teddy, we had a great trainer, Teddy, from unfortunately from Lowell, Mass, that passed away.
Ricky Violet.
Ricky Violet. He was actually a union rep for the training.
My next door
association.
neighbor.
But
Oh, I'm sorry.
Ricky Violet was an up and coming trainer from Lowell, graduate from, I believe, from 𝐃𝐚𝐢𝐥𝐲.
Yes, he did,
I believe
yeah.
he was, but
Yeah.
a really good up and coming trainer. So, and he trained under. I think he trained under. I'm not sure if it was Bath.
Was it Pletcher? I think it was Pletcher.
Oh, Pletcher, another
So
big name,
a lot of
yeah.
these guys, they start as interns and they just work under these and they come up. But Rick Violet was trying to make a name for himself, and unfortunately he passed away at a young age. But I know that the local owners is in the past has been Gil Campbell, who's now out in Florida, owns a stable out in Florida, and his trainer is Kathleen O'Connell, I believe it is.
And wasn't Abby Fuller the jockey on a lot of
Right.
Campbell
And
horses?
Peter Fuller with
Yeah.
that big controversy, Dance's Image, I believe,
Yeah.
in
Oh, man.
67 or whatever it was, and back in the days. But
You know that so that's a great story. These are local people, Peter
Right.
Fuller and what.
Yeah.
Tell folks that story. That and to this day, that is still a huge controversy, a huge point of contention.
Yeah.
What really happened with that horse and whether it should have been disqualified or not.
yeah, I don't remember a lot from it, Eddie, but but being a young guy at the time, but I remember reading a lot about it, and I think Fuller spent a lot of money even going to court and trying to overturn the decision. But
Yes.
as we know, there's another trainer, one of the best trainers. Bob Baffert is coming back after a 3-year suspension. Baffert has the most wins in Kentucky Derby. He's tied with Ben Jones.
Six
Ben Jones.
Derby wins.
Yeah.
6 Derby wins.
Ben Jones was a former old trainer in the old days, but Baffert would have had on Medina Spirit when he got suspended 3 years ago. He would have had the most wins going in. But right now he's tied, and where one of his horses, his best horse, Rodriguez, got scratched. He's got one horse left, and that's Citizen Bull, the one horse.
Who just came down to 16-1.
Oh, wow.
John's following live. I like it.
They're coming down fast.
Yeah. So you mentioned the Medina horse there got taken down
Right.
because of what was the drug? Was it Butte or what were they putting? What were they
Yeah, it
giving
was
that
some
horse?
type of drug. And
Some
again, he spent a lot of money, and they suspended him an extra year only because he was fighting it, and he won the Mitchell.
Well, then he said, "Yeah, I did do it."
Yeah.
But he had like 15
He was supposed
horses.
to be a 2-year suspension.
He had
actually
15
should-
horses that actually died of cardiac
Yeah.
arrest, but it's just not him. A lot of these trainers, they've done the same thing.
What they give them the COVID vax?
No, they all got their.
I want to see if YouTube's gonna put a warning up just for that one line, one stupid joke.
That's gonna get edited out.
Not enough. So, but I think the controversy with Fuller's horse in '67 was that whatever he got accused of giving the horse is actually legal.
I
Or
thought-
today, it's
yeah,
Butte.
yeah.
It's,
I think
wasn't
you're
it
right,
Butte? Wasn't it? Which they
Yeah.
use now.
Yeah.
They put horses on Butte all the time, right? It's like a blood thinning, if I remember,
Teddy, just
or
like
diuretic, get fluid out.
just like a boxer or any other athlete,
Cut weight.
the safety of these, in this case, the horses is paramount. These people pay millions of dollars
Millions.
for these horses. That's just to buy them. That's not to breed them and everything else they have to spend on them and to take care of them. So I don't think, in my opinion, I mean, maybe I haven't been around the game long enough. I've been around the game 40 years, and I think that trainers purposely go out there and try to hurt these horses. Will they take some stuff? Well, I think there's certain medication they're giving these horses. I mean, the horses, you know what I mean? They're 1,000 pounds and they're running out there and they're running it. You know what? You got to remember, to get ready for a race, they're spending about 2 or 3 weeks of just beating them and training them, and some of them train them in water now. They got them training and using different exercises, to strengthen the horses. So the techniques have advanced so much today over the last 30, 40 years. But I don't think trainers are personally going out there and trying to do something to destroy their horses.
They're trying to make their horse a better quote unquote
Right,
athlete.
right.
What's amazing is if you ever get to a track and see these horses up close, all
Amazing.
that weight that you talked
Incredible.
about are supported by a connection to the
Yep.
hoof,
Right.
the leg to the hoof.
Right.
It's about this
Unbelievable,
thin,
yeah.
unbelievably
It is.
fragile.
You're
Right?
absolutely right. You see the bodies on them. They remind me of a Marvin Hagler. Just a strong, tight body.
Oh, they're
but they
very-
got the moose legs.
Yeah,
They
they do.
like moose legs.
Yeah.
Long legs.
Boy, I'm glad this wasn't live.
Why? If it was live on CAP, if they didn't listen to it, they were never going to hear it. This they're going to watch for 100 years, Johnny.
Worst thing is, it's the Celtic Center.
Grandkids will suffer because of this.
You see the Celtic Center? See his legs?
Yeah,
I mean,
Porzingis, yeah.
he's like one fall away from being out of the game. Right? Honestly, he's just so fragile out there. So I agree with you, Teddy. When you see them, you just look at them and say, "Wow,
They're
look at the
amazing
bodies on them,
physical
look at the
specimens.
legs." And it doesn't take much.
No, it doesn't.
Like I said, unfortunately, John and I have been in Saratoga. We've seen a couple of the horses, great
Go
horses,
Yeah.
just
Oh,
go
yeah.
down.
Yeah.
And, it's the worst part of the sport. Believe me, it is the. So someone thinking that someone's going out there and intentionally trying to hurt their horse, absolutely not. And I don't agree with it.
All right.
Let's go to the buckets.
Let's go to the bucket. You heard the bugle. It's time to go to the bucket. Let's start going a little more rapid fire
going-
here.
you
Let's
got
look
it, my
Bodor.
friend.
What do we got for an entry?
Tom Lafferty.
Tom Lafferty, huh?
Bobby Lafferty.
Give him the worst horse.
What horse did he name? He named Sam.
You want a Sandman too?
Yeah,
Left?
I'll give it to
All right, let's see what.
Well,
Let's see
Ian
what.
Grande.
He has
Grande.
ground. Which
Okay.
has been scratched.
Right, so he gets.
I think
He
the
gets-
contest was rigged, Tommy. I don't trust.
Sorry, Left.
Bodor, your fellow officer did this to you. All right. So the rule: Grande has been scratched. If a horse replaces Grande, we're going to give you that horse automatically. If not, tough luck, Tommy.
Yeah.
Sorry,
He's
bro.
actually retired now, too, right?
Live off your pensions. That's
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Live off your police bench. Run for city council.
Oh God.
Where does he live? Let's get him to run for council.
I have no idea where
Well,
Left lives.
All right. Let's go. We've got four horses out of the way. What's
Okay.
next?
Luxor Cafe.
Well, that's a good
Oh,
horse.
wait. So you picked Luxor
this is-
Cafe.
This is people.
You did it back. Oh, I put it in the wrong place. All right.
That's-
So grab a person,
Yes, grab a person. That's right, Teddy. Very good.
and we'll give that person Luxor Cafe.
Christine Lynn.
Christine
Lynnne.
gets
And she wanted Rich Strike, but she's getting Luxor Cafe.
Luxor Cafe. Now, this horse,
Strikes
Who just went down to 12 to 1 now.
Won in 2022.
I had Luxor
80 to
Cafe
1.
at 13 to 1.
Yep.
in
Now
this
it's 12 to
race.
1 5 minutes ago.
And we were talking off here. This is actually a Japanese horse. The
Yes.
horse came all the
Okay.
way from Japan.
Yep.
He flew in, right?
Never heard of the trainer in my
His
life.
arms are
Noriyuki Hori. Kiki, have you ever heard of him?
Who's this? What horse?
This is
Luxor
Luxor Cafe, who
Cafe.
will now be in the 6th position rather than the 7th.
I know the trainer and jockey are the best in Japan right now on the 7th.
So that's a serious consideration.
This is a relatively new phenomenon, right?
Yeah.
Horse racing in Japan, but you're starting to see them like in the Breeders' Cup races. You don't.
You're seeing a lot from Ireland. You're seeing a lot from Ireland.
Yeah, they'll win mostly turf. So.
They're all tourists in Ireland, but when they come to the States, they're
Japanese
very, very
horses are dirty.
competitive horses. So,
All right.
yeah.
But there's no great Japanese horse. Or
I'm wondering
jockey
if
that
they're
we're
Kentucky
aware of,
horses.
right?
Last year, Forever Young.
Who knows?
Finished
Yeah.
third.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Finished third.
Oh, so
in the
they're
Kentucky
starting
Derby. Yeah.
the breeding, the training.
They actually
is
have
starting to catch
qualifying
up.
for horses in Japan now. So if you win so many
Oh.
races, you can qualify for the Kentucky Derby.
Wow.
Just like they do in the United States.
All right, the point they have a
So
point
it's like
system.
football. You're trying to spread it out. I mean,
Okay.
Yep.
the richest race they have, Teddy, is over in
Dubai?
Saudi. Saudi.
Oh,
I think
the
that's
Dubai.
like that's like a $10
Money,
million
money,
race.
money.
What about the Dubai Cup?
Yeah, and that's like a $10 million race.
You get a $10 million house with
They're
it.
buying, they're breeding a lot of your American Pharaohs and stuff like that. Your good horses. They're sending they're buying the breeding rights on them so that they can
I've heard they don't allow fillies to enter the race, though. Do they?
Like,
Up
I'll
there.
drive you
I'm not
nuts.
sure. I'm not sure you're waiting for that.
Grab the bucket. Some of
They don't allow
them.
fillies. Actually, no. They just started allowing fillies, but they have to come in their
Yeah, we have
face.
to go.
All you see is their eyes, right?
Oh, man, this is a tough shit.
He's a drive.
I'm going back to the CAP.
You're not going to get this commentary from Hartley Pleasure. I can tell you that much, dude.
Maybe Gary Francis.
Does Gary know there's a race
Ice cream
tomorrow? The dude hates horses.
All you do is make food.
That's true.
I'll bring the ice cream.
Maybe like hot dog. No.
Elliot's.
Now we-
There you go.
Light on the rail.
let's get another entry.
Okay, Janine Lozo.
Janine Lozo, long time.
Yeah.
Listener, all right.
Teddy Panos, we like it. She found her way to the internet.
There we go.
Her favorite horse was
Secretary.
What is she? Is she the one that said, "I apologize"?
Yes, I'm old. Yeah, I'm old.
No. Dude, Secretariat is
Great
what
horse.
made me.
Yeah.
I can't remember which race it was. I think it was the Belmont, but watching it on a Saturday
Oh, yeah.
afternoon as a kid, and that's what made me get
Yeah.
interested in horse racing as a 7-year-old.
Yeah.
Is that when Secretary won by 32 lengths?
Unbelievable. You just got to watch that race because usually not. So a little horse racing note here. Usually when a record is set on a track, it's because you have 2-3 horses that are all on their best that day and they're pushing each other.
It was just Secretary, and then when the other horse was
the one that finished second in every race to Secretary.
yeah, but had won the Wood Memorial. No, that's 50 years ago, isn't it? 75?
52. 52 now, 1973.
Wow.
My mom was at the green school teaching, and they had a pool.
What was the name of that other
But that
horse?
was just absolutely phenomenal that horse kept that pace without getting pushed. Had it got pushed even a little, that record still stands today at Belmont, right?
Unbelievable.
For
I remember the announcer go, he is running like a machine.
Like a machine. Just the call.
Oh, it was
gives me
awesome.
Goosebumps.
It was.
But you know what? When the horse died, they actually did an autopsy on Secretariat. No, this is not a joke. This is all true.
I don't know.
They found that Secretariat's heart was bigger than the normal thoroughbred. It was like freakishly big,
Really?
which allowed it to pump more blood. They attribute that to its speed. But I'll
Incredible.
watch that movie whenever it comes
So
on.
do I. I go to YouTube sometime and I'll just watch it.
Isn't that good? Yeah, just to watch that call of
Beautiful
the
horse.
horse.
Really good.
My mom made some money off of that horse.
Off of
The green
Secretariat?
school, she won it in the pool.
It was amazing, just like the coming down the stretch, the crowd just standing. Like
First time I ever
knew
rooted.
They were watching something special.
Yeah, it was great.
It was awesome.
It was
All
great.
right.
Okay.
So Jean Lozo, like Secretariat, that was her entry.
Yeah.
Sham.
Sham was the horse. That's right.
Jose Cervantes.
Oh no, that's another person. You're picking from the person drawer.
I did.
Yeah.
We need another
Did we
person.
give Janine Lozo a horse?
Yes, I did. I gave
what
her
was her horse?
Sandman.
Oh, we gave her Sandman.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Jose Cervantes, but that's a challenger.
Yeah.
What do you call it? So she's
He
got
won a
the
Grande.
so
She's got Sandman.
she's got the
5-1 in the morning line, or this
journalism just won to 7-2.
Okay.
All right, so 7-2 and
What do you got for Sandman? Current odds?
Salmon at 9-2 right now.
9-2.
wow.
Okay.
Right.
5-1 earlier.
Yeah.
So Jose gets publisher.
Jose Cervantes gets publisher. The horse Jim Campanini was talking about on his.
I like
Boston
publisher.
Pros. He was 28-1. What's he at now?
I like publisher. Yeah, I got him at 27-1, but he's got my favorite jockey on. Rad OT is one hell of a
That makes a
jockey.
difference.
Is that
And-
one of the aggressive jockeys you guys were talking about?
Yeah,
One of their brothers?
him and Jose, his brother.
I would
two-
say a rat's more aggressive than
Yeah, I think so.
Jose.
Yeah.
All right.
A
So
rat's not afraid to bump in there.
And-
When a species a little
that's-
opening, he'll push you.
And if it's 27-1 and he's on that horse,
Yeah, I would put a couple bucks.
Well,
on it.
Yes.
my exacta, I'm going to box it, or is it called Perfecta, right? Box
Yeah.
Perfecta is going to be journalism and publisher.
So you going?
That's what I'm.
I like it. Yeah.
8-13. Teddy, just real quick, I was talking about the Japanese horse, and we talked about the sires and breeding them.
Mm-hmm.
That 7 horse, the Luxor Cafe, who I'm going to probably bet at the track, he's actually a son of American Pharaoh.
Oh,
Interesting. I didn't know
Very
that.
interesting.
what he went? They sent American Pharaoh all the way to Japan to breed.
I don't know who they sent. I think they bought the
That's
they bought the breeding machine over
I
here.
think you come to him.
It's about time you bring something to this conversation.
he's full of fun facts.
That's what it
Kiki's
is.
fun facts.
Kiki's fun
I should have
facts.
gotten a sponsor just for that segment. All right, so who are we giving to Jose
Sean
Cervantes?
Malone.
Oh, Sean Malone. Okay, so Jose Cervantes.
It's Jose
Lowell City
Cervantes
Council candidate in
has
District 7
publisher.
Acre. He has
publisher.
publisher.
And now we
Sean
have
Malone.
Sean Malone, who won at Sandman, is getting Suzuki.
Tzatziki.
It's Greek. Suzuki.
No.
Not a bad horse.
Tis-tastic.
Joe Rosario.
Yeah.
Joe Rosario is on him. Joe's a very, very good jockey. And actually, publisher and Sitsaka have the same
You're
same trainer.
motor disease.
Yeah, I can't say it.
Tis-tastic.
It's like Danny Brooks trying to say it.
Fantastic.
Like Danny Brooks trying to road his sides.
Or Danny, we're trying to say anything.
Bless him.
Same trainer, Danny, Steve Asmussen. So publisher and Tistastic each have Steve
like
Asmussen.
Tzatziki.
That's it. That's
All right, well-
that's an interesting horse though, Kiki. I
We'll
think.
call it Tzatziki.
Who's that now?
Tistastic.
Tis-tastic.
No, he's there. I mean, he's. You look at most of his races, the last 3 or 4 races, he's first and second. So I mean, and he run grade. He's running the graded stakes. So he's run. And Rosario, you mentioned earlier the top 10 jockeys. Rosario's definitely one of the top 10
No doubt.
jockeys.
Just dropped to 18-1 from 20-1.
Oh wow. Okay.
I love it.
We're going to see a lot of that. We're going to see a lot of that.
Let's get another entrant, Bodor.
Oh, Laurie McAnsby?
Laurie
McAnsby.
That's one of your peeps from Belvedere, for Christ's
I'm
sake.
so sorry, McAnsby.
Laurie McAnsby. Bodor doesn't do good with these international names.
I'm just Hungarian, right?
More than 5 letters, Bodor. She can't handle.
That's true. Oh, Flying Mohawk.
Flying
Love the name.
Mohawk for Laurie McAnsby.
Joe Ramos on the mount with
I had
Whit
him at
Beckham.
34-1. What's he at now?
We got Flying Mohawk is at 33-1.
All right. Are there any fillies in this race, by the way?
No.
No,
No.
you won't
Last
see
one,
that.
Are there any
You won't see
transgender
it.
horses?
Remember last year we had
Because I mean, do horses have 28 genders too?
what's
I mean, we have
Don't go there.
There's way too many I could see.
colts and fillies.
the best filly out there right
You
now.
see, Leslie hasn't said one word.
I'm looking for names.
She's gonna get lynched by her own peeps. If she keeps
Torpedo Anna. Torpedo Anna.
Yeah.
If you remember, ran in the big race we have out there up in Saratoga.
At the Whitney.
Not the Whitney, the week after.
Oh, the
Travis.
trash.
And she ran against the big boys, and she finished second. Torpedo Anna will be running. I think I'm not sure if she's running today or tomorrow, but she's in a big race
I
today.
think she's today.
It's 2-5. I mean,
You can't beat it.
Torpedo Anna to me is probably the greatest female horse I've seen since Rachel Alexander. Remember Rachel Alexander a couple of years back? She dominated. Torpedo Anna.
Who was the filly that won the Derby? Wasn't there
I
a
don't
filly
think a
that won
filly
the
ever won
Derby?
the Derby, no.
Oh, they won. No, they won a triple
No.
crown race. I remember that was a big.
Yeah, they didn't win the. Nobody's won the triple.
No fillies
Philly.
won that?
No.
Now,
Who is this again?
This Flying Mohawk just in
Flying Mohawk.
No.
No, no, is that the last horse we gave away? Flying Mohawk.
To
right?
whom I
Laurie
forget his
McAnsby?
Laurie. Okay.
Yeah.
You have one job. Well,
I
you
know.
actually have 2 jobs. You got to pick
Can't find the
entrance and then
name.
you got to write them down.
Where to go?
He's running. He runs off. He's running at Churchill Downs. He likes Churchill Downs. He won his last race. He raced there, and he just came in second off the Jeff Ruby Stakes out in Tampa Bay. He finished second to Final Gambit. Which
That's
is
where
Jeff
he-
Ruby
horse.
Steaks.
So I mean,
Best steakhouse in Nashville, by the way. If you ever go to Nashville, go to the Jeff Ruby.
Ruby,
Jeff
yeah.
Ruby Steakhouse.
Awesome. Had it there.
Went there. Kid Rock got up on the stage. They actually have a stage behind the bar.
Behind the bar.
It's elevated behind
Yeah.
the bar. All of a sudden, this
all
guy
right up,
jumps up,
up.
starts singing with the band. I'm like, is that Kid Rock?
Oh,
It was
wow.
Kid. It was Kid
It's a
Rock.
beautiful place to
Then
be.
he sat there holding
Nashville-
beers and posing
Nashville's
for
a nice
pictures of
place,
it.
isn't it?
Oh, great!
cool.
If it had gambling, it'd be worse than Vegas.
Yeah.
You need a vacation once you
there's
get
so much building going on there. So the guys
Yeah.
we can't get enough. What do you call it? Cranes and stuff like that, and to do it, they
Yep.
don't have enough in the state. But
Crazy.
Flying Mohawk, like I said, his
cool
last
name.
3 races, he's won 2. He's 2 out of 3.
Okay.
And he came in
All right.
second in his last
Once again, 30,
meatloaf
33-1. All those 30s, 30s, 31, 32s. It sounds like
Look for value when you're betting, right?
well, like he had just said, Torpedo Anna is going off today at 2-5. There's no money in that horse.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No, there's just no money in it unless you did like if he was in the second position, 2-all, then
Right.
you
Then
don't
hope
want
some bombs come in at
Ex-
second and third.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So they're running the Philly, the what do they call the Kentucky Oaks today,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Right.
The 3-year-old fillies.
Yeah, and you could parlay that with the Kentucky Derby.
Yes.
So you could bet a double. So the winner of this
You can do a
race,
daily double on that one.
For the last 2 years, I've had the first end of it and lost in my second end. So
It's a story of his life.
yeah.
But, yeah. Now, so
I missed that.
the story of your life.
Cheryl, don't listen to him, Cheryl.
When I take him to Saratoga, he is not changing his bet. I will take his ticket away from him. He does it all the time.
Changes his
But
bet.
what happens?
He goes in a circle for like 10 minutes, walks around in a circle.
I just pick someone else. He's
And
like,
then I go-
he just hit. I said, no, I changed my number.
So why is the Derby limited to 3-year-olds? How did does anybody know the history of how this race became the
That's a
most
good
prestigious
question.
race in
Yeah.
America?
Yeah.
Because they do run horses as 2-year-olds, but are they in their prime as 3-year-olds, or are they prime?
assuming-
That's pretty much it is.
Yeah,
3-year-old is
yeah.
your prime. Pretty
So
much.
the horse gets old at 4. It starts to go downhill.
Interesting.
For the most part, I mean, you don't see. There's not too many horses you see after 4 years old who will dominate. There are
Really?
some, but very seldom you see them that will dominate.
Who was the one that ran at the Mass Cap as like a 5 or 6-year-old and kept winning? What was that horse? It was an older horse. He ran at the Mass Cap.
Yeah.
He had a great late career, but did
I
nothing.
actually have a poster of him too. Yeah.
But I remember I was working at Channel 7 back, and he was running in the Mass Cap back when
Yeah.
they did it at Suffolk Downs,
Right.
and it was such a big deal to get that horse to come run in Massachusetts. But anyway, all right, Bodor.
I'm ready.
All right.
Beautiful rendition.
The horses have left the paddock.
Yeah, I actually went in a little early, and Ian Paradis, Paradise, Paradise.
Oh, yep.
Ian Paradise. He wanted Trigger.
He wanted to. So Ian got the spirit of it.
He ended up getting Chunk of Gold,
Chunk of Gold.
which was the 30-1. I don't think it's that anymore.
Number 19, Chunk of Gold.
You actually don't mind this horse, Kiki.
Well, like I said, there's the
Chunk of Gold's went from 44 to 1 is now at 29 to 1.
Okay.
So people are starting to bet. But again, when you start losing horses from the field, people switch their bets.
Yep.
If you've got a futures bet on this horse, you get your money back.
Well,
It scratches.
Chunk of Gold, four last races, came in second in the first 3 and the first in the other one.
Oh, wow.
The bad news is those races were all at the Topsfield Fair.
They were all fairgrounds, and the Turfway Park.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
I mean,
he come in second in Louisiana Derby his
Yeah.
last time out, and he lost to Tistastic.
that's not a bad bet.
He's
All
in that
right.
race?
That's not a bad
He's
bet.
consistent. He's
You're
consistent.
talking me into it.
Ian, you did good
And you know
there,
what's
kid.
when you're looking at these horses where they're finishing stuff, you have to look at the quality of the race. You know,
Correct.
So you know if they're running.
Who are they running
In a
against?
stake 2 or stake 1. If they're running quality races in these races, you know that the horse belongs in this
Right.
race. It's the horses that come in 6 and 7. You say, well, what's this horse doing in this race? But
So when you look at the racing form, I'm curious because I look for past results, but then I'm always looking for one that might be ready to bounce back because usually if a horse has won 2 in a row, he's going to be a heavy favorite, 2 to 5 or something. You're not going to get your money back. What do you look for? How much do you put into its distance? How much do you put into its pedigree, right? Its lineage.
Right.
How much do you put into that? Was it Bayer or Bayer speed number?
yeah, I will look at a lot of times. I'll look at what the horse has done on this track here. Whether a horse likes a track, some horses like that track. They might have run 3 or 4 times, and they do run at other tracks because there's other races. And I'll look at naturally the distance is something. I look at when was their last race. If some of these horses haven't raced since like November or December of last year, or maybe even 3 or 4 months off,
They're coming off an injury,
race.
right?
Usually it takes one race to
Yeah.
get back, to get their momentum back. Because you can train all you want. It's like sparring. But when you get into a match, it's a completely different match. It's a whole different ball game, especially in a race like this with 20 horses.
Sure.
So you look at where a horse, the distance. If a horse likes this distance, you can tell. If the horse is dominating at 1:16, 1.25 shouldn't be that bad. But the horse is mostly running miles, and they're dominating miles, and now they're going to run 1.25. Then it probably, you don't know what they can do in 1.25. Even though they're, and that's sort of what I look at. I look a lot of times, and then John and I will look at trainers and jockeys,
Huge.
how they work together.
Huge.
Because that's a big thing on a trainer. Like you're saying, Brady and Belichick, probably didn't like each other at all, probably still don't like each other, but they respected each other enough to know that this guy's going to get me to the finish line. Okay?
Yeah, and I like horses that have run in the last 8 weeks.
Okay.
Rather than somebody's
fresh.
like 6, 7 months.
Yeah.
But how have they done on this horse track? And what were the conditions of that horse track? That's what you kind of look at. And they came in first, they came in 5th, they came in 7th. Well, you kind of going, all right, but I'm not going to lay heavy on this one. You know what I mean? So I think I go back to Keek's thing. Lineage, not so much. But to me, when I look at those 10 jockeys that I really like, and I would say 80% of the time, they're always in the money.
See, this is what I used to love about the racing form and going to the track. Because we just mentioned, 8 different factors: trainer, jockey, horse's pedigree,
Yeah.
track conditions.
Yeah.
A lot of people think that Bayer speed
Trainers.
figure is like religion, but everything, there's so many different components. There really is no
It's
right
funny,
or wrong
though.
answer, though, right? If
It's
you think
funny.
about
It's like when we look at a race, and we're at the rail, right? And we'll see where that horse is at the quarter. And if that horse that we took is like in the 4th, 5th position, we're going, it's in the money.
Yeah.
We already know that this trainer has decided we're laying it. We're
it's
just
a
laying,
closer, right?
just a laying back, right? They're a nice
Stay with
position.
the pace.
And then when that turns that corner, it's like, bang, he's off.
Yeah.
Exciting.
It's just the way you see the horse, how he's riding.
And the other thing, Ted, in these long races, you got to remember there's 2 turns.
Yeah.
A lot of these horses never run 2 turns.
They don't like to,
Yeah,
That's right.
So there's the 1-turn horse. So
Oh.
so there's little differences, and then when you get the daily racing form, it gives you all that information. Whether a horse likes the mud, doesn't like the mud. I mean, you know what? You can analyze it and analyze it. Though I can just tell you that I bring my girlfriend all the time with me. We go to Saratoga, And before you go in there, they got paper boys out there, the old
Oh, yeah.
papers.
Yeah.
They give you the
The
pink
tip
slip.
sheet.
It's
That's
called the
great.
pink slip,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Well, she's reading that. I've been reading the program for 2 days on who my horse are,
She won't
and she
get
wins the first 3 races. And I'm
Yeah.
just looking at her and say, are you kidding me?
Should have brought her in instead of you.
She does.
She's done a 12 card, the 12 race card. She's done it in 15 minutes, and I'm still on the first horse that I've been studying for 2 days.
She was at my party once, and she goes, "Sandman, put it all on him."
Yeah.
I go, "What? Are you serious?" I go, "It's true." Me and him will sit there all day looking at this thing, right? We don't.
All right. Well, listen, I have to publish this by noon, by the way. So,
Oh, all right.
All right, it's 11:25. We're going to pick up the pace now.
It's 11:20.
Amy Dalton.
Amy Dalton.
She likes
You know
flying
Amy?
mohawk. I know Amy Dalton.
She likes flying mohawk.
Okay, Amy, let's go. Get your good one. Okay.
Uh-oh, is this contest rigged? Because she
No, I can't see. I'm doing over. Render judgment.
render judgment. That's the number 15, 12 to 1 before all the scratches. What?
Yeah. I don't know anything about this horse, Kiki.
He's
Render judgment. 12 to 1 last time we saw. That's not bad. 15 to 1.
Peak is the trainer.
Render judgment 13-1 right now.
And,
Wow, okay.
Julian Laperoux, the French jockey, he's on him.
French jockey.
Oh, such a
Julian
good.
Laperoux. He's been around. He's
He has a knack of surrendering, though, before the...
Those aren't bad odds, though, huh? 13-1.
French-
13-1. That's pretty good odds.
He gives... There's a German horse in the race. He just-
Vichy. We'll
He
name
lets
him
him run
Vichy.
right by.
now see
Let the American horse take him out.
his last 3 races in 25. He's run 3 times in 25, and he hasn't shown me much. I mean, he come out in February of 25, and he ran in the Rising Star, and he finished 8th. Then he ran in
Came in
March.
third-
He ran in
third.
Virginia Derby.
Came in third.
And he came in. Well, I got him here second.
Yeah.
And then he ran his last race in the Bluegrass, a Grade 1 horse, which is
Kentucky.
that Burnham Square one, and he finished 5th.
Okay, cool. So you mentioned his first 2 races. They were at races that really I wouldn't consider important qualifiers, right? Then he goes to the Bluegrass, which is one of the main
Yeah, and finished
qualifiers,
fifth.
and he finishes 5th.
Yeah.
Obviously, he took a big jump up. What's the most important qual? What are you looking at? Bluegrass, Wood? What races are you looking at?
I would look at, when I'm looking at, like, especially the Kentucky Derby, I'm looking at horses that might have run on this track.
On
here.
that track.
What have they
And-
done on
At
this
Churchill
track?
Downs.
And how have they done on that sloppy track? It's going to be wet. That's going to be huge. It's going to be huge. Some of those horses that, like, I don't know how, I haven't looked into it. I don't know how Sandman's done, who's the favorite right now to win in Sovereignty. How do they run in wet conditions?
Mm-hmm.
You know, not to mention you're looking at a 10 to 15 mile per hour wind coming at you.
Oh, okay.
And it's going to be like 58 degrees out.
Oh,
All right.
the
So
temperature's good. I had-
all those factors, I mean, they weigh into this.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're looking at render judgment at 13-1, that's a legit at the 14th position. Not so bad. Not so bad.
Nice.
It's shaping up to be the kind of race where you want to look for value a little bit, right? With
There's going to be a lot of value here. You're
maybe
going to,
discount the jock and
yeah.
I just got a name Phil.
I got his email. That was InsideLowell.com. And
He likes Black Beauty.
Black Beauty is his favorite
So
horse.
Phil gets
Let's give Phil his horse. Is it Big Phil?
Neoquist? Neoquist?
Yeah, number two, number two.
Does anybody know how to pronounce? That's the longest of the long shots. So
That's Greek. Come on. You're Greek. That's got to be a Greek.
QUOS?
QUOS? We don't even have to let a Q in the Q.
No. It's not French.
Neo it could be Greek, but Neo Equos.
Yeah.
New horse.
Oh, it
New
is.
horse.
Not Greek, huh?
Hey.
Jeez. Love the jockey. Louis Saez is a really good jockey, but
51 to 1 I have.
but
What's he
yeah,
at now?
he's at 51 to 1.
Is he?
That's a long.
Come on,
And like you said, he's going to be up against a real Kiki, right? I mean, Saez is a good jockey, but that's a long odd.
When I went to my father's village back in 1978, there were donkeys that ran as fast as me.
But this horse has run 3 times in 25.
That's not bad.
You know, and he won his first time out. That was in January. Then he finished 3rd in the Fountain of Youth, which
Oh,
against all
okay.
these Sovereignty beat him. And then he ran his last race. He ran in the Florida Derby, which is a Grade 1, and he finished 3rd. So he lost. Somebody came in second, and Tapan Street, who I like to win this.
All right,
You know, see what?
so those are legitimate.
He went from
races.
50
Florida Derby and
57 to 1. Now
right?
Flavian Pratt's on him. He just went down to 49 to 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
That jockey just made a difference in that bet right
But
there.
the horse isn't familiar with this jockey?
I'm not sure if he's driven this.
Was Pratt one of the ones on a horse that was scratched?
No.
Yeah. He was on.
He was on the two originally. Then he went with the 21.
Oh, and then they switched him
You're not
back.
going to believe
Yeah.
what name I
Flavian Pratt's a good jockey. Very good jockey.
All right,
You ready for this? This is an inside job now.
I've seen them all.
Jerry Nutter.
Jerry Nutter.
Like
He
journalism.
went with journalism.
Jerry Nutter Butter.
Jerry Nutter. We're gonna give Jerry a horse.
Okay, Jerry. Let me get you one, buddy.
I think it's getting cold battle.
Citizen Bull.
Citizen
Not bad,
Bull.
Jerry.
Oh, good horse.
The number one, 15 to 1 early.
That's Baffert's horse.
Yeah.
That's Baffert's horse. Citizen Bull.
Baffert's a leading trainer in this race. He's won this race 6 times. He's
So it was 15 to 1.
Some people might say that's an appropriate horse to give Jerry.
oh,
You have to look at that.
Citizen Bull is going up at 14 to 1. Right
Okay,
now. Right
so,
now.
Getting
Not
a little bit
bad.
of love on the pre-Derby betters.
And
Of course, the
if
biggest
Jerry wins, he's going to donate it.
The big shift odd starts to take place, what, between like 2 and 6 tomorrow, right?
Yeah, yeah,
People
yeah.
Really start focusing on the race.
Big money starts coming
the
and
big,
rolling in.
smart money, as they
Yeah.
call it, right?
Citizen Bull won the 2-year-old Breeder Cup juvenile race. So he
Oh, okay.
Now he's
last
great.
year.
Well,
So Citizen Bull has won 3 of its last 4 races, and he's won some stake races. He won the American Pharaoh last year, so Citizen Bull is
Wow.
a legitimate horse. I just don't like the hole he's coming out of unless he jumps out there quick.
Where is he coming from?
He likes
Coming out of the 1.
He likes.
Oh,
By the way,
Well,
Keith, your favorite fun fact for folks who are thinking of gambling on this race and betting on Citizen Bull, the number 1 horse, what are you going to tell them?
Yeah, that post doesn't win.
The number 1 post
doesn't-
has
And 7.
never won the Kentucky
7
Derby.
first.
doesn't win the Kentucky
The
Derby.
seven.
That is stunning to me that the
Yeah.
number 1
And 7.
horse has never won a Kentucky Derby.
And-
And seven.
And 7, right?
He's won at Santa Anita
Unlucky number
twice.
7.
He's won at Santa Anita twice.
So what? Right? You told me that horse, the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, is the winner of that race.
2
Is
years old,
considered the
right.
best 2-year-old
Yes,
horse. It's
yeah.
run in November.
Yeah.
He was
The
coming
horse
out-
that wins that is always the favorite going in come January for the Kentucky
Right.
Derby.
Now he finished 4th in the Santa Anita Derby. That's probably why they pulled him down a little
Okay.
bit, because he lost to 2 of the horses that are in this race. He lost to Journalism. He lost to Beza.
Oh,
So-
they're both in this race.
They're both. So he finished 4th in it. But it shows me. But he seems like he's mostly a California horse. Of course, it's Baffert's horse. He's run at Santa Anita and he's run at Del Mar. So. And I told you that's synthetic turf. That's a lot different than his dirt here. It can be running
Does that turf hurt their knees more? Like the turf in baseball or football? Does it injure the animal more?
Well,
No.
I
Like the
wouldn't
old
tell you.
carpet.
Yeah.
those
I
old
want to tell you
stadiums.
that there was a lot of studying done by the horse racing.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Even nationally, when all these horses were being utilized, the government got involved and put a committee together now
Okay.
studying these horses. And that was one of the
Why?
tracks they were studying was a synthetic track.
Okay.
And whether
Okay.
it was causing what you're saying, a lot of injuries. Because you know yourself, once these horses, they bust their legs or something like
Oh,
that,
they're done.
Unite, they're done.
They're done.
They just, you know,
Well, if the government got involved, that means they're never going to find
yeah,
one.
no, exactly. There you go.
They're gonna
You'll
be
find
on
out
a
the Kennedy
plane.
assassination.
Let me lay him off right on these.
Doge. Let's get Doge. Where's Elon Musk?
I'm all set. Okay, our next person or horse winner is Karen Bond Kerrigan.
Karen Bond Kerrigan.
All right.
Yep.
Any relation to Nancy?
Why?
James Bond.
Why?
Put that on the tee for you, Bodor.
Yeah.
Cold battle.
Oh, Coal Battle.
bad.
All right, that is the number 16. By the way, Batch put in some commentary on Facebook. He says Coal Battle sounds like Teddy and Michaela arguing over climate change.
Cold deal, Teddy.
Coal Battle. Haven't they banned it in certain states?
It's coming back.
It's allowed in Kentucky, but Coal Battle cannot run
West
in New
Virginia?
York, Massachusetts, or California.
Cold Battle is a very good horse, and I like Cold Battle. That horse has won me some money in the past.
Good luck.
Really?
He's
One eight to one.
He's come in first and third in the last 4 races.
Yeah, he's out of his last. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's won 4 out of his last 5 races.
Yeah. Wow.
And in a Kentucky Derby, the Arkansas Derby, he lost. He came in third. and he lost to two horses, Sandman and Publisher.
Both in this race.
Yeah.
Both win this
okay.
race.
Wow.
But he's beaten Sandman too in the Rebel Stakes.
Oh, wow.
So
I might look.
Do horses recognize each other? Will they look as they're parading around the tracks? Oh, I know that horse. He
I
beat
think
me
they
last
do.
time.
I think they do.
Because humans
I believe they
who
do.
run in races, they know, and
Sure.
sometimes you're defeated even before you
Sure.
start running the race.
Yeah.
Like, all right, I'll finish second because this horse
Yes,
beat me.
always wins.
I wonder if horses do that.
I believe they do.
I always believe that jockeys talk to jockeys too.
Oh yeah. During the race, I
Well.
think they do.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Like,
You know, if you have Irad and Jose Ortiz and then one
they
and
have
two,
grudges
and
against each other,
you know,
yeah.
and depends on what the purse
Yeah.
is for that race. If it's a $25,000 horse, they won't care about it. But if it's a $125,000 horse purse,
No one's throwing
Like-
the derby.
like-
That's
you
a
know,
$5 million
you know what I mean.
prize.
Why don't we split it, me and you? Because the jockeys are getting
10%. They get 10%,
10% of the race.
So this is
So
the
it's
winner gets
100,000. That's
$3.1 million, right?
$10,000.
So Brian Hernandez last year got $310,000 because
winning.
the race was it was 3.1 million. The same thing this year. The winner gets $3.1
No, it's
million
five.
dollars.
Five is the
million is the
overall
purse.
Purse.
They'll
Yeah,
pay
the
for
first
it.
race is 3.1.
Right. That's right.
So the jockey
jockey
will
gets
get
10%.
$310,000.
The owners get 80%. I believe the 10 trainers and then the jockey gets 10%. So Brian Hernandez got $310,000 last year for the winner. So it's important. But I think I've seen these horses. I think they wink at each other. I'll see you at the finish line. They just take off.
It's interesting.
Yeah. There's no doubt about it, Tim. Your question, no doubt about
The
it.
jockeys, do they make a lot of money? Oh yeah.
The good ones.
The good ones make a lot of money.
Well, I mean, they don't eat.
Well, it's not easy.
Yeah, think of how much they save on food.
I just like hanging around because I'm like 5 inches taller than all of them.
You're a giant.
Oh, God.
All right, who's our next person?
Okay, Cheryl Haley Boudreaux.
Oh, no.
The real horse racing expert that we should have had in
Here
here.
we go.
Right.
By the way, you saw Leslie's sticker hand, and that was not Kiki Rudy.
No.
Thinking Cheryl's name,
Good luck, Cheryl.
also known as Fiona's
Guess who?
grandmother.
Cheryl.
I think he's going to get American Prom.
Final Gambit.
Final Gambit, the
Yes.
number 3 horse,
Good luck, Cheryl.
16-1
All right.
earlier. What do we got? Final Gambit going up now.
Great trainer, Brad Cox is a really good
Any
trainer.
relation to the old Coxes, John Cox?
Nope. We got him going up, I believe.
The owners, Judd Mutt, they're very good. They go golfing.
Louis Machado is on him.
Lori Machado?
Nobody's on anybody. This show is going right down the tube.
That he's won 2 out
I'm
of 3.
making everything local. This is all about Lowell.
In 25, he's raced 3 times. He's won twice and been up second. And the race that he won the Jeff Ruby Stakes last time out.
Gone from 18-1 to 16-1.
Wait a minute. This horse has won 2 out of his last 3 and finished second in the other one, and he's only 16 or 17-1.
Final Gambit, yep.
So he probably hasn't raced against some better quality.
Well, no, he lost. He beat Flying Mohawk last time out, and he beat Maximum Promise. So he's running against.
Mohawks here.
He's at Turfway Park a lot. But then last November, Churchill Downs, he came in 3rd out of 12.
All right. So unless I'm mistaken, by the way, we only have 4 horses remaining.
Yes.
I'm going to peek into the. Oh, I see more than 4. I screwed up somewhere. All right, there's more than 4 horses. All right.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's see. C.R. Hurst.
C.R. Hurst. That was a last-minute entry.
Always dreaming.
Always dreaming.
You all right? Dream no more, my friend.
That is. Wait, which one is?
What is that?
That's what he wanted. That's what he wanted.
he wanted
That's what he
always,
wanted.
okay.
Yeah, he had to name
He's always dreaming of getting a horse.
He gets journalism.
He gets journalism.
Okay.
Ooh, big horse.
The number 8 horse, 7-2 on my odd sheet here. Now, by the way, Batch said, I thought journalism got shot in 1980s.
That's a perfect batch line.
Fake news, Teddy.
Fake news. So journalism
Yes, journalism. C.R. Hurst.
for C.R. Hurst.
Ooh, fancy name. C.R. Hurst.
All right, so
Journalism right now is the favorite.
Yep.
At 3, just now gone to 3-1.
Oh, wow.
Dan Man has now gone to 5-1, and Sovereignty it went to 9-1.
Oh,
Journalism
wow.
is sired by Curlin. So this is one of the horses. Mike McCarthy's a good trainer. And
I think
journalism.
there might be names in
I think there's only 4 names left, which
Okay.
is what I have on my sheet here, which is good.
Teddy,
Okay.
Journalism has won 4 of his last 5 races that he's had. He's only run 5 times, but he became in 3rd one race. But he's won his last 4.
Oh.
And we're talking
Who's riding him?
Gentleman is going to be ride by Umberto Raposi. He's a good jockey, very good jockey. He's an up-and-coming jockey.
It's a good jockey name, Umberto Raposo.
His last 3 races,
I'm
Teddy.
Spanish, half Italian.
His last 3 races have all been. And he runs out in Santa Anita predominantly, but his last 3 races have all been stake races. Ted.
Okay.
Grade 2s and Grade 1s. He won the Santa Anita Derby. He beat Baza.
Wow.
And Westwick, and he's a good horse. He's the horse to beat. There's no doubt about it. Right now, he's.
You want to talk about respect for jockeys? Philip Pratt being on Baeza just went down to 21 to 1
Wow.
from 29 to 1.
That was the substitute.
Yes,
horse they
that's
put
the
in
substitute.
for,
Just because
for
he's Flavian
Rodriguez.
Pratt.
Yeah.
That's a huge jump.
So whoever gets Rodriguez gets bathed.
All right. Before we pick another name, I just want to thank our sponsors who gave us gift prizes. Of course, we're going to give some
Thank you, Kiki.
tickets away to the Massachusetts Pirates. We've got a gift card here for the Perfect Cup, a new coffee shop in Drake. We've got the 1981 Ramen Bar in downtown Lowell. That gift certificate was donated by Where Angels Play.
Yes.
Great organization here. Lowell, and then we got 2 gift cards for Lowell House of Pizza,
George's.
the new home of the original George's Pizza.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
So thank you to all of you for contributing. Keith, thank you for gathering these prizes as well, doing all the hard work for me because I really don't do much.
Well, I picked Laurie Ann.
Laurie Ann,
Laurie Ann.
the aforementioned Laurie Machado.
Okay.
Oh, is that Laurie? That's Laurie? All right.
She has Rodriguez.
She got Rodriguez,
gets
who
the
was
scratched
scratched, so she will get
Beza.
Beza.
B.
I think that's a great horse.
All right, Laurie.
Right now with that jockey,
good luck.
I like it.
So now, that explains why I had an extra number.
There's a name?
I figured it out after. Yeah, I entered Baeza in.
Oh, you did? Okay.
And I didn't pull out Rodriguez.
Okay, so
Only
we're
because I
perfect.
wanted to
We
have
got
an
one left?
opportunity to say my
2.
joke
2. We have
about
Burnett.
Rodriguez not really being scratched, but he actually self-deported.
And they haven't added
What do you got?
the horse yet, right?
What do we got for 2 horses? I got Burnham Square and American
got-
Promise.
I don't know yet. They're in
We got Burnham Square, American Promise, and Admire Daytona.
Daytona. So you have 3 left. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you got 2 decent ones and a potential donkey.
Yeah.
Okay, let me get in there.
Beza, like I said, he ran second to journalism in the Santa Anita Derby. And he didn't lose by much. And this one of my handicappers here is like him.
Darren Machado Bastine.
Darryl.
What did the
Darryl.
French come out in
Yeah,
this?
Darryl.
My people,
Dakota's peeps came
my
out.
people
yeah.
too, Teddy. My grandmother's Madeline Duplessis.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, her father.
You only brag about the Hungarian.
I know,
part. You
but
don't
that's my
brag about
name.
The French
That's
part.
my name. Yeah, no, I'm actually quite French.
All right.
Darren Machado Bastine. American Promise.
American Promise, the 5-horse, 12 to 1.
D. Wayne Lucas.
See? Now, if I were betting Karma, this is the horse I would bet.
Ah, okay.
American
We
Promise.
finally have a president who's going to restore American Promise. Can he restore this horse?
Going up at 12 to 1. Yeah.
D. Wayne Lucas, did you say?
Yeah, Wayne Lucas.
Okay. His star has fallen, but there was a time.
Well,
when you
he's
saw
been
D.
around
Wayne
for a
Lucas
while.
Horse,
Yeah, he's
and
been
you
around.
bet that D. Wayne
gotta be
Lucas
close to
horse in the
90 if
race, right?
He's got to be Hades.
Baffert kind of surpassed him.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But
And
he
Ple-
was
and
the,
Pletcher.
he was the guy.
Yeah.
Right?
And he's
D. Wayne Lucas?
sired by Justified.
Who, D. Wayne Lucas or
Yeah.
American Promise?
American Promise. His sire is Justified.
This is like worse than the Gong Show.
There's another 10 votes Dakota lost. Just
No,
so
Okay. Sean Callahan.
Johnny, Callie got in this.
Oh, Callie sneaks in.
He wants that ramen bar. I swear to God.
He likes Smarty Jones.
Callie has snuck in, but
He has
Gilly
snuck
Mo
in.
has not?
Not yet.
Oh, that's terrible. All right, let's give the Callie Lava
Okay.
his horse.
Burnham Square.
Burnham
Not a
Square.
bad horse, Callie.
You know what? Brian Hernandez has been riding in Gulfstream, and he's been hot as a pistol right now. He's really, really well. And I believe you have him at 1901 right now.
Yeah, 17.
1701.
Yep.
This horse would definitely be in my.
He's at 1601 now.
He would definitely
Burnham
be.
Road. That's all.
He is somebody to contend with.
Okay.
Definitely.
I like him.
Thank
And I like the position he's in. He's
the
going to be.
Callie Llama.
He's going to be an 8. He's going to be in 8th position. He's right where you kind
Right
of
in
want
the middle.
to stay right there. Then you can put. get out after the quarter mile.
In politics, the middle is roadkill.
Yep.
But in horse racing, it's where the
Or inside low.
All right, we have
One
so
more.
we have one more horse
Yes.
left. So let's confirm from the horse. Let's pick the horse first, just to confirm
Sure.
it is in fact number 6 Admire Daytona, because our contest here has been certified legitimate by the international accounting firm of Dewey, Cheatham and Hunt.
I can attest to that.
Admire Daytona. Now, the
Yes.
suspense is we have a lot more than one entry in here. Who's going to get this last
Yes, that's
bucket
it.
here? So before we do that, though, we got to leave a little drama here. So before we do that, we want to send our panel of experts to the whiteboard
Okay.
so that they can tell us their bet for tomorrow in the Kentucky Derby. Leslie, we'll go ladies first, although it probably should have been Dakota.
Oh, she is
Oh,
going to
she's
go.
going for coal battle.
Nice bet.
What?
Nice.
People went to the coal mines in Pennsylvania too.
All right. So
Hungarians.
So they're
Coal
going
battle.
back to the Hungarians, going to the coal mine.
Going to the coal mines.
All right, Mr. Dakota, your turn to step up to the whiteboard. Use the red marker; it shows off the best up there.
Oh,
All right, this is high production values here on Inside Lowell. John, your barber missed a spot in the back, by the way.
Wait, I woke up.
It's a little uneven.
you're next to
Can we write a little bit smaller?
That's how
journalism.
You're taking the chalk.
I am.
Oh, cowardly.
I think the last quarter mile, he comes out.
That's cowardly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't see that.
All right, Kiki, show these folks how.
He's going to take sovereignty. He's taking
Now
sovereignty.
this is where you want to pay attention, because last year you did pick the winner, right?
I believe so, Ted. Here we go.
All right.
All right.
I think we should ask his better half. She gets them right.
Oh, he's even right.
Burn.
God, he didn't graduate from the 5th grade. How did you do that?
He had to look at his
Burnham
cheat sheet.
Square.
Burnham. Isn't Burnham a road up in
That's
Bellevue?
cute.
Yeah.
It's cute.
Burnham Square. Yeah, that's where the
He
a lot of
likes
votes come
he
in.
likes Hernandez.
Can you read that, Teddy? It's longhand.
Burnham Square.
Okay.
Yeah, look at that. that's neat.
What,
cursive,
what,
right?
were you, what were you drinking last night?
He does not mess around.
Little shaky.
Burnham Square, the number 9. So there.
Good horse. Brian Hernandez is a good horse.
It's missing fuse of the campaign.
Okay.
Had more operations on
I
it.
see that.
So there you have our Derby panels picked. Leslie Bodor, in honor of her heritage, the Hungarians working the coal mines, has gone with coal battle. John Dakota, because he always just likes to take the chalk, he goes with journalism, the
Yep.
favorite.
When you say
And-
chalk, you mean the winner, right?
They call
At
it
the
the
end?
chalk.
Oh.
If you
In
bet
the-
the favorites, it's
in
called
the-
betting the chalk.
Oh, okay.
In the
Okay,
seventh position,
All right.
which I really like the position more than I.
No horse
I kind of like sovereignty better. But I like
Right.
journalism where he's sitting.
So
Has anyone won from the 7?
The 7th post, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, 7
Yeah.
votes has
do we
one.
know why
Bad
they
info,
call it
sorry.
betting the chalk?
Well, I assume that's the line where you end. Chalk flows out.
Is that?
I don't know.
Here's my theory on this. And by the way, I haven't Google searched it, but my theory is before they had those electric scoreboards where change the odds.
Yeah.
They used to literally go and write with chalk
Yes,
to
probably.
change the odds. That's my guess.
Yeah, probably.
That's
in the
probably
old
it. That's probably it.
I think, remember we were at Saratoga last year, and all the horses, there were 3 horses, 2 to 5, 3 to 5, and 1 to 5 or something like that. There was no money
No
in
money
any.
in
It's a 3-horse race.
Yeah, so you had. And then,
And Dakota still couldn't pick the trifecta.
Let me grab
my
this one
God.
because we have. Let me. I need a.
you know what?
name.
Hold on,
I like that. I like that. I actually like that for a trifecta.
Do you really?
Journalism, Burnham Square,
So
and
you-
coal battle.
So you got one kind of a long shot, coal battle.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm
You
going
got
for a bad
the favorite and a mid-range.
I like the try on that.
I like that. All right. Are you going to bet that?
The journalism, I'm going to do a $4 exacta with sovereignty.
All right. I'm just going to throw journalism and publisher together.
Why not?
I like
For
it.
the-
Yeah.
Very
Just for the-
symbiotic.
Can you bet these races on FanDuel and all
Yes,
these
you
things?
can.
So you don't even have to go to the track.
Not DraftKings, FanDuel.
Can you bet during the race?
FanDuel, not DraftKings.
Yeah,
okay.
right.
Is there a number that Lowellians can call to? Like the good old. I used to remember.
This is your time. Get out of here quick.
What happened to the good old days where you would pick up the phone, place the bet? I can say it because they literally just tore it down the other day. Did you see the bulldozer demolish the building? Yeah. You used to be able to call in at Kentucky and get a bet in.
That was my favorite book.
Which is how I used to do it, right? I will not make, it wasn't Charlie who answered. It was other people who answered when I called.
That bar was the best.
My stepfather. It was my stepfather, actually. I can talk us as him.
I used to call somebody else.
Tommy.
He'd say World War II price drinks in there.
Yeah.
Okay, good. And the guy who Paul used to also answer the phone from also, I think.
That is a hole in the wall, man. You'd never know.
Oh, Charlie was the best because he shut up.
Too funny.
12 o'clock. Shut all the drapes. Family party. Nobody else can come in. We'd be there till 4 o'clock in the morning.
Can I tell?
As a former license commissioner, I thought that was right.
Good old days.
It was.
You just literally, you'd pick up the number, you'd call at like 4:45. The number, of course, you didn't have call waiting back. That's the number. You'd be busy. You'd have to keep hitting the redial until you could get on in.
And the sheets that were writing them on, they would just drop. Remember, they drop them in the water. If someone tried to come in, they drop them in the water. Disintegrated. Yeah, and I'd get the paper they were using.
I never went in person.
Yeah, they had a bucket in front.
Yeah.
So if someone come in, they threw the paper in and it disintegrated. So no evidence.
The good old days. All right, so we've got our final horse, Admire Daytona. We've got
one person.
At least a dozen names in there.
Yes.
Yeah, but only one person is going to get the final horse.
Okay.
Mix it up. Stick with one card.
Okay. Charlie Cavanos.
Oh, Charlie Canavis.
Charlie Canavis.
Charlie
nice.
Boy, my Greeks love him.
Oh, my God.
Charlie and I went to high school together.
Charlie's a great
You
guy.
didn't learn his name in high school?
No, I thought it was Cavanos.
Good sensible boy.
Yeah, when they called, I mean, he's spells it with a C, right?
K-A-N-A-V-O.
Yeah, K-N.
Oh, okay.
Cannabis.
All right.
What else you got?
He got Admire Daytona.
Admire Daytona, Charlie Canavis.
At 39-1.
Yes.
He's a Japanese horse.
Oh,
He's the second Japanese horse.
okay.
Why do they admire Daytona, by the way?
Christopher Laminade's on that.
He won the Dubai World Cup.
Yeah.
Dubai.
He won it a month ago.
And this horse, the 7,
Yeah.
the other Japanese, he's beaten the Daytona twice.
Oh, okay.
So that's why they're really high on this 7, the Japanese horse. As long as he doesn't get confused halfway around the track, he'll be all right.
Do you know the difference between the people
The
of
Taros might get him the Taros.
Do you know the difference between the people of Dubai and the people of Abu Dhabi?
No.
The people of Dubai do not like the Flintstones. The people of Abu Dhabi do.
Abu Dhabi do.
You're going to end the show with
Yeah, but no.
15,000 comedians out of work and he's telling jokes.
Oh,
I'm
God.
going to end the show with 𝐃𝐚𝐢𝐥𝐲 𝐏𝐻, who was entered, but Bodor did not follow the script
All right.
and pick his horse. But 𝐃𝐚𝐢𝐥𝐲's horse here. Can you read that, John? Put your glasses on. The audience might be able to read it.
Karen Reed.
Tough crowd.
See you, folks.
It started with a camera.
She don't mind the bumping, I guess. She don't mind the bumping. She like the action, but she's bumping. She usually takes off as she bumps. Oh, wow.
So, you know what's funny though? There's going to be new testimony about that night when Cameron Reed walked into the bar and the bartender said, "Why the line?"
Damn. Brutal. Brutal.
All right.
You know what? A lot of fun. This was good. Really good.
An hour 27. I think we just surpassed our Thanksgiving extravaganza.
Oh, that's it? Yeah.
I'm going to call this the Kentucky Derby extravaganza.
That's what we're going to do.
All right.
You got to get this on by noon?
I got to get there. Not a chance. It's going to be a little late today, folks, but it's worth the watch. Leslie Bodor, Kiki Rudy, John Descoteaux. Thank you so much.
What about
Thanks,
the
Dave.
last name? I have a horse, but did I finish it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we did.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never mind. I'm back.
Next year's guest, Keith, Rudy, and John Descoteaux.
Leslie Bodor to be replaced by Cheryl Haley Bodor. We'll replace a Bodor with a Bodry.
Exactly.
All right. Thanks for joining us. Thank all of you for joining us as well here for our 2025 Kentucky Derby Extravaganza. Hope you had a little fun watching it. Probably had to watch it in a couple of doses. Speed it up. You can download the audio and speed it up, but then you'll miss the gag.
Good luck,
the sight
everyone.
gags as well. But good luck to you if you got a horse. If your horse wins places or shows, you're going to win some prizes. Hopefully you all had a few laughs along the way. We know we certainly did. Everybody, have yourselves a great weekend. Enjoy it. Stay safe, and we'll catch you next week on the other side.